G'day guys, Turbo here from the Noob Spearo podcast. Today we're going to convert my Rob Allen Tuna 1.2 spear gun, standard rail gun, into a Manny Sub roller powerhead. So first things first, there's just one screw underneath the muzzle that needs to come out. Now if your gun's quite old, you can get a lot of corrosion and salt deposits in there and it can be really hard to get out. But mine come out alright. Use some WD-40 or penetrating lubricant. And once again, the muzzle itself may have corrosion or salt under it, so just use a piece of timber and a hammer to tap that free. As you can see, that one there, mine's pretty dirty. Right, next step is to measure to the required length that you want to remove off the barrel. Mine's 1.2 down to 1.1, so I just removed 100mm, and I use an aluminium blade in a drop saw. It's important to know that you should use an aluminium blade. And it's just a bit neater than the old hacksaw. Next step is it's pretty important just to get rid of all those rough edges on the outside. And even more important, to make sure that the inside of the barrel is free of any burrs or sharp edges. So that is because we've got two O-rings that we've got to put into the barrel itself. So once you've cleaned all that out, sand it down just to get rid of any other salt deposits or any sort of corrosion or anything like that. Just so when the O-rings go in, they seal nicely. You want to make sure that you put a generous amount of marine grease or O-ring lubricant, O-ring grease into the barrel and also onto the powerhead itself. There's the plug with the two O-rings, and you want to make sure that you don't damage those. So got to get a lot of grease on there just so that it goes in nice and easily. And wipe the rest on the bench and your pants. Perfect. Alright, when you're putting it in, just twist the power head as you do it just to protect those O-rings so you don't cut them. It goes in pretty easily, sort of. And the next step is to get the power head centered correctly with the rail. I did it by eye at first, and then I plugged the spear into the trigger mechanism and sighted down the spear and just made sure that it was sitting true, that the roller power head wasn't twisted. That's pretty important to get that right. Now the spear will sit proud a little bit of the rail when it sits into the power head, and that's fine. That won't cause any problems with accuracy or anything like that. The next thing is you've got to measure back 8mm from the adapter plug, so 8mm pretty much from the end of the barrel. Mark that point, and this is where you're going to drill the 3mm hole for the screw that holds the roller power head in place. So I just tap mine out with a center punch first just so that I could start my hole, make it nice and neat. And it drills out super easy, and you'll see some sort of black plastic come out, and that's the actual, you're drilling through the power head, so that's normal. Next step is to remove the screws that hold the handle in place, and then we're gonna, after we've removed them, drill them out with a 5mm drill bit. Now this is so that we can get our new handle pin in place that holds the line anchor bushes in as well. Super easy. That's it. And then yeah, put the line anchor bushes on. Put a line anchor bush on first, then push the screw in, then put the other one on. Now do it up and just trim off the remaining screw with or bolt with a hacksaw. And that's it. She's all rigged up and ready to go. So I bought pre-made rubbers to go on mine just because I hadn't done it before. I was going away on a trip, and I just knew that if I bought them direct from Manny Sub pre-made that they were going to be right. So pre-tension. Right, so with the rubbers through the muzzle, what I then did is you pull the rubbers back till they're just at tension, and you mark that point with either a pen or a piece of tape. and that is your starting point, or as I like to call it, the 0 point. So then from there, however far the gun is that the rubbers are stretched is your pretension. So here I'm wrapping the line that holds the rubbers around the anchor points, and there I've got about, I don't know, 10 centimeters or 15 centimeters of pretension. I want a bit more, so I can just pull the rubbers up and twist the line over to just adjust that pretension. Now, you can only get so many twists around these anchor points, so you may need to shorten the pretension line. Thanks for watching. You can follow us at the Noob Spearo podcast. That's noobspearo.com, or download us on iTunes, the Noob Spearo podcast. Thanks for watching.